Hi everybody, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. Welcome. Sorry I'm about a minute or two late. All of a sudden I didn't have any internet. We've been in the process of kind of trying to make some changes so I get better connections, and my husband was on the phone trying to upgrade our plan, and I think they said they weren't going to do anything but right away, but I think they did. But anyway, I'm here. Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Let me pull my video up here, and so I can see everybody, hopefully. Again, I'm still kind of learning my new system and what I can do and what I can't do, but I think I'm up. Okay, welcome. Remember, if you like what you see, I like hearts and thumbs up and things like that, although last week someone told me they weren't working, so I don't know. Hi Melanie, I see ya. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know what with hearts and thumbs up and stuff like that, but if you like what you see, and share it, share it down in the comments, and you might get this week's card. If you remember last week I made this, I think it's a really pretty rainbow card using the ombre paper from the celebration, which ended yesterday. Hope everybody got all their celebration goodies. And the card for this week, this card goes to Paula Avion. So Paula, I will be getting this out to you. I already have your envelope all ready to go, so I'll get that out in the mail to you. So I also wanted to show you a couple of cards I received in the mail. Funny enough, this one came from Paula. She sent me this. This was one of my favorite retired stamp sets. I love those flowers, and she was just thanking me for a card that she had won from watching the videos. So I like to get cards too, so thank you. And this is from my friend Cindy, and this uses some current product, a little bit of it from I believe this is from the big flowers from the annual catalog. I know the love is from the mini catalog, and I just thought it is so pretty. So I'm going to hold it still for a second. So Cindy, your card arrived at the perfect time. I was not having a good day, and it made me smile, so thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. I think that's all I need for right now. Yes, celebration ended yesterday. It was only 2 months now, because for the spring, usually it's 3, but this time it was 2 months because we're going to get 2 more months later in the year. I believe it's in July and August, but don't hold me to that. We'll let you know. So we get 2 months now and 2 months later, so technically we get 4 months of celebration instead of 3. So more time to earn free product is always good, right? Yes, yay! We love that. Okay, I think I am going to go ahead and switch to my hand view, and we are going to get started. Now this card looks involved, but it really is quite simple, and I hope that you enjoy it. So I'm going to switch to my hands, and we are going to get started. So this card that we're going to make today uses the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper, and I love this paper because it just has texture on it. I mean, these are hand painted images done by the Stampin' Up artists, and I just think it's gorgeous. I think this would make a very pretty scrapbook page or layout. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, yep. One more. This one would too. So very good. And it's funny, you know, I picked out this paper for the card today, and while I was getting ready, my husband came over to the desk and he goes, "You're color coordinated with the your paper today. Look at that." And I'm like, "I am, except for that little bit of blue that's in here. I'm kind of color coordinated." So go figure. I didn't plan on that. But anyway. So this is a fun card with a great surprise inside. Look at that. Look at those butterflies. Aren't those pretty? That gives you the idea how it sits. Really, this could be anything. These could be flowers. They could be, you know, I could see you have little sentiments on each one. But I'll show you how it really is easy to put together. And I think you'll find it easy. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side. We are going to start with a piece of Old Olive. This is 4.5 by 11. Hey Paula, I see you joined me. I showed you the card you sent me. I really liked it. So this Old Olive base is 4.25 tall by 11 inches long, and I've scored it in half. Okay. Now I have 3 of the mats out of Rococo Rose, and these are 4 by 5.25. And this is one of our retiring in colors, you guys. This one, Pretty Peacock, Seaside Spray, Terracotta Tile, and what's the final one? Oh, Purple Posy. And so, you know, once they start announcing the retired list, which is going to be any time, your stuff will sell out. So especially if you're interested in ink pads or ink refills, I strongly suggest you not wait and you get your order in as soon as possible. Here's my website that you can order from. Use the host code. That makes sure you're shopping with me. And yeah, it's always kind of a crazy time. And remember, our catalogs are changing on what am I trying to say? The calendar, for lack of a better word, is changing for this year. So instead of the catalogs going until, let's see, the end of May. I'm going to double check so I don't misspeak here. Hang on. Yeah, the annual catalog is good and only until May 3rd. The mini catalog is good till June 30th. So they've adjusted their calendar a little bit. So the Rococo Rose, the mat is 4 by 5.25, and you're going to cut 3 of those. Then there's 3 pieces of this gorgeous designer series paper that's 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm just putting it on the Rococo Rose mats. I did do a few things ahead of time, but not this. Didn't want to do it all ahead of time. But I really like this paper. I just want to touch it because I feel like I can see feel the texture on it. Plus, it makes me happy, or it means that spring's around the corner. I love, at least here in Michigan now, it's still light after 6 o'clock, which I'm loving. And the clocks change in a couple weeks here, I think. So, yay. Okay. So I'm going to put this one down. This will be on the front. And then we're going to do the insides. Now, like I said, this really isn't hard so far. It's just a lot of cutting and gluing. But I decided to use the liquid glue for this because sometimes when there's a lot of layers, it's nice to be able to have just that little bit of wiggle room like that. There we go. Go. Hope everybody's weather is warming up. Our snow is close to being gone. Means the yard is a soupy mess for my dog, but that's okay. She manages. Okay, we're gonna put this right here. And now that it's kind of warming up and the sun's out longer, the the little, she's seeing more of the critters, so she's wanting to go in and out a lot to go after the squirrels and the rabbits and the birds. In and out and in and out. So anyway, so there we go. There is essentially the base of our card. And I was looking at this paper. I wanted to use the Rococo Rose again because it was a retiring color, but when I looked at the paper, the colors on it, it doesn't even list Rococo Rose. It has Flirty Flamingo, Petal Pink, Terracotta Tile, but no Rococo Rose, but I think it matches beautifully. It has some Marion Merlot in it too. I just think it matches beautifully. Okay, so there's the base. Now this card is a little bit heavier because there's a lot of layers, so it may cost a little bit more to mail. I just want you to know that. Okay, so to make the inside, I have a strip of paper here. It's 1 inch by 11 inches, so really it's just the length of the paper, and you're going to cut 1 inch. And we're going to get this out of the way and get my score. Let me get the blade out so I don't cut it. So in the center, we are going to score this at 5.5. And then I'm going to just turn this over. We're going to score this at 2 3/4. And you're like, why did she do it that way? And then it would be 8.5. But you know what? If I turn it around this way, it's 2 3/4 again. So, because remember, ideally when you fold your paper, you should fold it toward the mountain. You know, you've got the mountain and the valley, so technically this one should go that way, this should go that way, and this should go that way. Now, is it absolutely crucial? No, but it just helps the paper bend better, because you've already broken the fold, broken the fibers that way. Now, my husband was like, with all that cool stuff, when he was looking at the card, he thought it was a pretty card, but he's like, where could you write at? And I kind of thought about that. Well, you know what? I could move this up here. I could put a piece of paper down here and write, or on the back, you could put a piece of blank paper and write a note too if you wanted to. But I am just going to go ahead and put this right in the center of the card like I did my sample. There it is. I'll show you here. So you're taking the first quarter of it. Remember, just part of it. Let me see how I have that one. Yes, I had that lined up with the edge of the Rococo Rose cardstock. Right like that. Yeah, it may not be exact, but it's close enough. So then I'm just going to fold that over. Put some ink, good grief. Some glue on that. And look at this, I don't even have to measure, I'm just going to close it down like that. And look at that, perfect. Right where I want it. Yay! Okay, so now for the inside, we have these squares. So you're going to cut 4 squares of Old Olive, and these are 2 inches by 2 inches. 4 squares of the Rococo Rose, which are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, and 4 squares of this designer series paper. It's the flip side of what I used, and they're 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay. And then you'll notice I've used the stamp set at Butterfly Gala, which I love. Although Stampin' Up does have a new butterfly die and stamp set that's available to customers tomorrow. I had posted about it on my Facebook page. I think it might have been last Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, I believe. It's very pretty. But anyway, you know, there's lots of options for coloring them in. And then I use the punch to punch them out. So, let me show you. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I did this on my original. I was gonna put ribbon. I was gonna run some ribbon behind, under this Rococo Rose layer. I was gonna put it back there with like glue dots or something. And under that Rococo Rose so that you could tie it shut. So you don't really need it, but this crinkle seam binding ribbon, which is very thin, is perfect for that because it doesn't add any bulk at all. So, okay, I forgot. Maybe it really doesn't need it then, if I keep forgetting. But, okay, back to butterflies. Yay! So, really for my card, as you can see, I just used the bigger butterfly, but they're together in one stamp, and that's okay. I'll go ahead and show you how that works. It's really nice. I know some people have cut them apart. I haven't because I didn't want to ruin that effect. Oops, one more I'm going to need to do here. And then this is the body. I'll be honest, I usually stamp the body after I have punched the butterfly out because you know what? I have trouble getting it placed just right. So it's just easier to do that. But I'm going to try. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Now, I have my butterflies colored, so y'all didn't have to watch me color. But I used Old Olive, dark and light, and Rococo Rose, dark and light. So I am going to hold this butterfly up here so you can see, let me see, what colors I've colored it so that if you wanted to recreate it, you could. I mean, y'all know how to color it. I don't have to show you that. But there you go. Then that way, if you want to know how I colored my butterflies, that's how I did it. Because sometimes, yeah, I can get a little crazy with coloring in the butterflies. But remember, these blends will be going away too. So if you like Rococo Rose, even if you don't have the paper and stuff, it's a very pretty pink. So let's pretend this is all colored in. See, we're going to take the butterfly here. See, I didn't quite get the, no, I did okay on the body, but not great. This is why I always put the body on after I've punched it out. Well, you know what? I actually did pretty doggone good that time. And I just get it centered in there. You can see how both butterflies would be punched out at the same time if I wanted. I'm only, obviously for this card right now, using the big butterfly. But that just shows you how it works. But I am going to go ahead and punch out another small butterfly out of this because this will go on the front. And so if you're cutting a whole lot, I'm going to save that right there, of the big butterflies, I would recommend putting, putting them in a strip, so you can put them in like, well, this will be easier to see. So you could put them like that, and then you wouldn't, you have a long strip of paper, and you've stamped all these butterflies on there. And then you could punch them out, just go down the line. So let me set that over to the side. Okay, and there's that. So, and that one's colored in. And the one thing it's missing is some Wink of Stella. Who doesn't need a little Wink of Stella? If you're not familiar with Wink of Stella, it's probably going to be your new friend. It's an easy way to add glitter. It's just kind of a glitter pen. So, anyway, and you just put it wherever you want a little bit of shine and sparkle. So on this one, I'm just putting it on the wings. There we go, just like that. And I don't know if you could see it on the front. Let me see here. I don't know if you can see it on the little butterfly there on the front. There, now you can get a good, that's all Wink of Stella. And it's so much nicer than working with real glitter, or you know, with glitter that you get everywhere. And you wear it for days and days. There's just no way to get the glitter off. I'm gonna set this aside then. I'll let this kind of dry a little bit. It probably would have been easier to glitter this once it was in place, but I had the Wink of Stella out, so I decided to do it. Let me go set that right over there. Okay, so remember you've cut 4 of each of these shapes, 2 inches by 2 inches, 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, and 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and there's your butterfly. Okay, so we're gonna, again, I've got a lot of layers here. And again, because I have so many layers and it's already a little bit thick, I didn't use any dimensionals on this. The only thing that is a little bit thicker are the pearls on the front, which are gorgeous. They're out of the mini catalog. I love those pearls. So anyway, so there's that. There's the square, and then I am going to put this butterfly. I'm just going to put a little bit of, see, whenever you use your blends to color, you always want to make sure you put a piece of paper down, because it might bleed through your paper and you don't want it to ruin something it might be on. So there we go. Put that right like that. And I have already done my other butterfly squares, so you didn't have to watch me do those. Now we're going to attach them to the card. And so I'm going to put this one here. So I just put a little bit of, put some glue right kind of in the middle there. I like this card a lot. Okay, I'm going to do this one now. Just make sure I put it the right way. And like I said, by using the liquid glue, I get a little bit extra with chance to move it around if I need to. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna try this, because this one was kind of hard to put those 2 middle ones on because it doesn't lay real flat. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that'll work. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it just like this. Put it right on top there. And there we go. Why make it harder than it is? There we are. And one more here. I've pretty much just put a band, you know, right here. Band of glue. And we'll do the same thing with this one. Put that right on top of that. I'm going to close it down. There we are. There we are. Perfect. Yay! See, it really is not hard once you get it all worked out. Then all we have to do is our front. So I'm going to do just like this one. One of my favorite dies from the Stitched So Sweetly is this one. I like them all, but this is probably one of my favorite. And I really love big, bold sentiments. So this stamp set here, So Sentimental, is one I reach for a lot. So we're going to do another thank you one on here. So this is like giving someone a bouquet of flowers without giving them something that's going to die. It's going to last, isn't it? Yay. Hey, I would love to know if there's something you would like me to try to do, you know, a sentiment or a technique or a certain kind of card, a special fold. I'm always looking for fun things to share with y'all because I like the challenge of trying something new. Bingo. Okay, put that off to the side and get rid of my ink pad. Remember now, these ink pads you want to store upside down, you know, so that the ink is at the top of the stamping surface. If you're using one of the Stampin' Up pads, it automatically does that because when it closes, it turns it upside down. So that keeps the ink right there where you need it perfectly. Okay, almost done here. This is not taking too long. And you know what? If you're cutting out for one, you cut out for 2 or 3 and have them on hand. I've really kind of taken to having some sentiments, you know, a container of sentiments pre-stamped. I try to do that when I'm bored or I don't have anything else to do. You know, I'll stamp some out on some different shapes. Okay, I'm gonna put our cute little butterfly down here. Put this on here. Look at that. I think it's got just the right amount of wink of Stella. What do you think? Look at that little shiny thing. There we go. There you can see it. Okay, last but not least, this probably is my favorite embellishment out of the whole mini catalog. These are the pastel pearls. And it's hard to see them. Let me get a piece of white paper here so that you can see them. Okay. The 4 colors are Gorgeous Grape, Seaside Spray, Highland Heather, and Rococo Rose. And I think these are just gorgeous. So, of course, I had to use a couple of the Rococo Rose pearls right there as a nice accent. So, I've had people ask me, how do you send cards that have embellishments on them and how do you keep them from poking through the envelope? And you know what? I think I'll take a minute. We're doing pretty good on time. Let me show you. First of all, if I have a card that has an embellishment on it like this, like say these pearls, first of all, when I put it in the envelope, I'm going to put this toward the back of the envelope so that the side with their address and the side that's going to go through the canceling machine is right here. Okay, but then I have this really thin foam that I will put in the envelope. It adds a little bit of cushion. It doesn't add any weight though, and you slide it right in there, and it really helps to keep this your embellishment from poking through the envelope. Some people will fold their cards inside out, but this is the best one I have found. This stuff I bought on a roll at Staples. It's actually used for like when you're packing dishes and stuff like that to put between your dishes. So that's what I do. So there you are. I don't know what this is called. Some kind of a Z-fold card, I guess. But we're using butterflies and flowers and getting ready for spring. So again, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Share my video, comment shared below. I might be sending this to you. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe. Let me know what you think of the card. And I look forward to seeing you all next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Stamping with Denise. Take care now. Bye-bye.